Week 12 in the books, and what an amazing week of college football it was. Big story, huge story, Georgia taking down Tennessee 31-17 in Athens. Georgia fans so happy, Tennessee fans so sad. And wouldn't you know it, just when you thought the Bulldogs were dead in the water, they come roaring back to life. Georgia's sitting pretty right now with a 6-2 conference record. They are just waiting for Texas versus Texas A&M, because if Georgia wins out, they've got a spot in the SEC title game. And who would have thought that a week ago? Speaking of Texas and Texas A&M, both of those teams won their games. Texas winning at Arkansas by a score of 20-10. Texas A&M winning a laugher over New Mexico State at home, 35-7. Both the Texas schools are sitting at 5-1 right now as far as the conference record goes. It looks like it's going to come down to that matchup, the Lone Star Showdown in College Station at the end of the season. And what a game that's going to be. As if it's not enough to have Texas and Texas A&M playing for the first time since 2011. No, we've got a potential spot in the SEC title game on the line, and that's going to be one heck of a football game. Couple of feel-good stories around the conference as well. South Carolina taking down Missouri by a score of 34-30. You got to be impressed with Beamer Ball. He's finally got that machine cranked up, and I think it's going to be something else to watch for the next couple of years. It looks like he's finally got things the way he wants in Columbia, and I can't wait to see what happens next with Carolina football. The other feel-good story, this one was kind of a shocker. Florida takes down LSU in the Swamp. And this one is a feel-good story because a lot of people had Billy Napier's head on a pike. But wouldn't you know it, he's got the Gators up to a 5-5 overall record. You got to be feeling good. Believe it or not, you got to be feeling good going into the 25 season if you're Florida. And there's two reasons for that. Number one, Florida was decimated by injuries this season. It was almost unheard of the amount of depth, especially in the offensive side of the ball, that they lost due to injury. Number two, they had the most difficult schedule in all of college football this season. Now, of course, next season, it's not going to get much easier, but you will have a more seasoned team and hopefully a more healthy team to boot. And to be honest, you got to give Coach Napier that 25 season to see what he can do. It's clear the players love him. It's clear that the players are playing really hard for Billy Napier. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do in the 25 campaign. Overall, the SEC continues to be a very, very difficult league. Because at the top of the conference, you have Texas and Texas A&M sitting with one conference loss apiece. And then right beneath them, you have Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, and Ole Miss with 2 conference losses each. So this whole thing is going to have a wild finish, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Now, outside the SEC, one of the big stories was Oregon pulling out the victory on the road in Wisconsin. Wisconsin played their hearts out, but Oregon was just a little bit better, and they continue to be a little bit better, not only in the Big Ten where they're 8-0, but also nationally with their number 1 ranking and 11-0 record. So it's going to be an interesting finish to this 24 season. I enjoyed the living daylights out of this week's college football games. Hopefully you did as well. So stay tuned for Week 13 SEC Power Rankings. This is Kevin saying hook 'em horns, God bless you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Welcome to story time. I tell you right from the start that every word I say is coming straight from